Hi and welcome or welcome back to Art Summer. It is now day 3 and I'm continuing working on this painting that I started working on yesterday. I didn't start it yesterday, it was already a work in progress, but I made some significant progress on it yesterday and I'm hoping to make even more today. I don't know if I'll finish it, that's the ultimate goal, but we'll be working on it. If you didn't see yesterday's video, that's fine, you don't have to watch all of them. I appreciate you for just coming to this one. Essentially what I did is I painted in the background and I went over all of the, let me hold it so it's more in frame. And I went over all of the skin. I was unhappy with the skin, so I basically decided to just start again with it. Added blue and yellow highlights to either side of the body as well as to the background, just to kind of give the vibe that he's like sitting in a studio. I didn't want to do too detailed of a background, but I thought that, you know, that color contrast would be interesting and would make it, you know, I don't have a reference for the colors, I'm kind of making them up, but I'm doing my best to make it not look too flat and like boring. I don't want to just do like one highlight, one mid-tone, one shadow tone, because that's not how skin works, you know. You can see on me like I'm reflecting all the different colors from around my room and, you know, the undertones of the skin and everything. So today I think I'm going to work on more details and shadows. With oil paints, shadows get lost pretty easily once you start in highlights. That's why it looks really washed out and grey, even though I added a lot of dark tones to it yesterday. So today I'm just going to refine the details. I'm going to try and focus on the face, get that looking a bit more refined. The eye especially is very, yeah, dodgy looking. The paint's not completely dry. Like if I touch it, it feels like sticky and it's dry enough, it's like tacky. So it's dry enough that I can go over it without the paint completely disappearing. So I don't think there's much else to talk about. May as well get started. I will see you at the easel. Hi, just popping in here with a voiceover. I know in my previous videos I just had music for the time lapses, but I feel like this is a pretty long, I worked quite a while, so I feel like there's a bit to say. Let me know if you prefer time lapses with commentary or just with music. But anyway, just to comment what I'm doing, I'm just taking a dark brown. I think this was mostly raw umber, I think with a bit of burnt sienna, and I'm used the medium to kind of thin it out a bit, and I'm just going over to try to deepen the shadows, because I think I mentioned in the introduction the shadows got kind of washed out and the whole thing was looking kind of greyish. So I'm just going in with the shadows. Now I'm blending them out with I went in with a fine brush to put them in a small flat brush, and now I'm just using kind of a fluffier brush to blend them out. It was a bit tricky blending the wet paint with the like more tacky paint underneath, but I think it ended up okay in the end. I was able to get a smooth enough blend. Now I'm going in with a cool like kind of blue shadow underneath the arm, and I'm just doing this to define some cast shadows. So I'm imagining that there's a kind of blue cool light coming from, what side is that, the left side of the painting. So in the shadows that are created from that light, the cast shadows, I'm making them kind of cool. And the opposite way, I think I'm adding it now, the cast shadows created by the more warm yellow light, I'm painting with a kind of yellowy browny colour. Now I'm going in with some midtones. It was so tricky mixing the colours because my paint palette is white, but so I would mix something that I thought was a kind of dark or like mid-tony sort of colour, and then I'd put it on the painting and it was so light, it was like almost a highlight. So that was a bit tricky, but just painting in adding some more mid-tones, lighter tones to kind of blend out those shadows. I'm trying not to add too much because I don't want it to get washed out like it did before. And now I'm adding some more details to the face. I realised, you know, he's a kind of older man, but he wasn't super wrinkly, I guess, so I tried to add some more wrinkles and stuff, and again going in with some finer details on the body, just adding more dark shadows. going in with some highlights now. These are some kind of yellow highlights in the areas that are highlighted from the yellow light on the right. And now I'm going in with a more neutral highlight color to, you know, the yellow side was a lot easier to highlight because obviously, you know, skin tones naturally, like light skin tones naturally have some yellow in them, but they don't have that much blue. And I'm just blending out those highlights again. I'm trying to make it as smooth as I can. It's a bit tricky because the underlayers, I was not very careful with it, so I ended up with a lot of brush strokes in the underlayers, so the painting ended up with a lot of texture even though I tried to smooth everything out and blend it out. It was just because I wasn't careful in the first layer of paint. Now I'm adding some even more highlights. So these are like some, much brighter highlights than the ones I added before. And I'm using, it was pretty much just yellow and white here. And I'm putting these in the areas that are highlighted from the yellow, highlighted by the yellow light. I'm trying to add a little bit of a rim light. I go in with a bit of a stronger ring light later, but I'm trying to start to establish that he's kind of lit from the side, but also kind of from behind. He's kind of bright on the edges. I think rim lights just add a really cool, like dramatic effect to paintings. So now I'm going in with the other side with the blue light. So again, this is just, this was just ultramarine blue mixed with the titanium white. And it ended up just kind of looking white, but like a cool white, which I'm okay with. The idea is just that it's a cool light from that side, so. Sorry, I keep coming in front of the painting. Because it was such like a large painting, it was difficult to film, so yeah, sorry you're only seeing it at an angle. Oh, and now I'm trying to go in with the hair. I failed miserably with the hair my first attempt at this painting, so I tried to make it better. I used a kind of big flat brush and I just got a little bit of paint on the edges of it, and I thought that would kind of give a more, because I'm not very good at fine details with a brush, so I thought that using the big flat brush rather than trying to paint in the individual hairs with a finer brush would give a better look, and I think it does look alright. It's not super detailed or realistic hair, but it doesn't look bad. So I'm fine with how it came out. This isn't the finished hair, but it looks pretty similar to that. I also got rid of all the body hair, just I figured it's not going to look good, so maybe it looks a little unnatural for him to not have any body hair, but I'd rather it look a little bit unnatural than just look straight bad. So now I've brought out the reference again, and I realised some of my shadows had kind of drifted away from how they were in the reference, so I'm trying to correct that by, going over and And now this is where I go in with that final ring light. So I'm just using pretty much straight white here. The brush I was using wasn't perfectly clean, so it's mixing in like a tiny bit of watered down brown with the white. So it's not like a pure white, but it, you know, basically is. And just, yeah, having a little bit of the ring light just gives this like dramatic look. It shows that he is being lit from behind. And yeah, so I added a little bit of blue and yellow to the ring light in some places, and then I'm just blending it out so it's a bit more soft. And now I had some smudges on the background right in front of his mouth, I think where I'd rested his, my hand, and I was struggling to fix them, so I decided to just accentuate it and have it, you know, maybe it's a cold room and he's breathing out some mist, and I feel like it gave it a cool kind of dramatic look. The painting's done. I think it's done. Anyway, you know, I've done as much as I can today. I'm happy. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. It's, you know, maybe once it dries I might come back and, you know, add a couple more details, but for the most part I think it's done. If I do go back to add any more details, it's going to be so little I probably won't even film it. Also, if you're wondering what this lovely graze is, I went on a bike ride just to get some fresh air and, you know, stretch my legs. I hadn't left my room all day and I fell off my bike. That is the second accident I've had since I got my bike at the start of the year. So my track record's still pretty good, but it was very embarrassing. I was fine though. I still, like, it was right at the start of my ride where I fell off, and I still continued, did 2 laps of the trail. Graze stings a little bit, but it's fine. Damage that I broke my bra. Ripped at the front because I landed like on my chest. And I was very lucky that there was no one around because 1, like, it's embarrassing for people to see you crash your bike, and 2, like, my boob like fully fell. My bra broke and my boob like fully fell out of my shirt. Very embarrassing. I was very, very happy there was no one around. But anyway, the painting. Here it is. I still need to paint the edges, but I'll do that once it's dry because I don't want to. Okay, let me back up so you can see the whole thing because she's a bit big. I'm pretty happy with it. It even looks good on the flipped video on the phone, so that's good. Just by the way, the final video isn't flipped. It's just the video that I can see as I'm filming is flipped. If you didn't see the last video, this was the reference I was working from. It's a drawing from a figure drawing class. So I think I matched the reference pretty well. It's not exact, obviously, but I think, you know, it's there. Obviously the reference has no colour, so I just kind of had to wing it with the colour. My goal is I wanted him to kind of look like he was in like a studio, so it's like dark behind him, but he's got like a warm light and a cool light shining on him. And I tried to do a little bit of a room light around him. I started this painting months ago, and I've just like, I'm probably going to title this video something like, oh, finishing a painting after 3 months or something. It was probably more than 3 months, which that's like kind of clickbait because it's not like I've been working on it for 3 months. I just started it 3 months ago and then got too busy with school and didn't finish it, but he's done now. But yeah, that painting's done. Thank you so much for being here, for watching. If you didn't see yesterday's video, check that one out because that's when I started working on that. Not started the whole painting, but like started it again. I didn't film the start of the painting. And I'll see you tomorrow. I think I will still paint tomorrow. I'm probably gonna do an acrylic painting though because all the oil paint stuff is giving me a bit of a headache, and it's just, I love using oil paints. Like, they're really good. I really enjoy them for the actual painting, but just like having them around isn't the most pleasant. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of the painting. Let me know if you have any feedback, any critique on either the art or the video. And yeah, see you tomorrow. Bye.